talk about. We've had a group of motorcycle long-distance riders going out during the Quoro Head. These guys have been riding all over the state, and they finally made it back in. They pulled in today, been going for 30 hours straight. I want to introduce you to Gabe Carrera. This is the attorney that rides. His booth is right there and back as well.
If you were here last night, you would have seen we had the lights going on, and it was fun. How many people here were last night? Was that great? I lost half my voice last night, then I lost the other half at the after party. It was great, and it was a long time ago. Maybe it was like 2 years ago. Irma came through, and I spoke with Rich. I said, Rich, I want to do something. I want to make a difference. And we had brought down like 20 trucks with trailers full of food. We filled up the post. We filled up the Church of Pines. And we went down to Baby's Cafe down there a little bit before Key West. And I said, hey, why don't we do a long distance run on a motorcycle and connect it with the concert? He didn't hold back. He said, hell yeah.
Oh, of course. You're going to have a bunch of bikers riding in afterwards. How can I refuse?
So anyway, they paid $100, and basically the whole event is a huge scavenger hunt with a lot of twists, bonus points, and it's spread out throughout Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. And these folks, not even less than 8 hours ago, they were in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and they ironed butt it all the way down here. Yeah. We scored them. We have a women's category. Hey, we got some ladies that can ride and giving these guys a run for their money. We got a novice category that's basically for folks, hey, I just want to be the tourist, see what it is, or this is my first time, I don't want to compete against these top dogs. And then we got the top dog, which is the experience category. But I just really want to shout out, do you mind if I start bragging on them a little bit?
Go ahead and brag,
And we have a trophy that we give to the most miles rode to the event. And we had a gentleman that almost tied for the men's trophy. He came down from Tennessee, but Roger Baez from Louisiana, he rode in. Where's Roger? How many miles you get, Roger?
Like 1,100.
1,100 something.
Damn.
All right, and from the ladies, second time in a row, Kelly Jo Smolerick from Sarasota, Florida. Where's Kelly? There she is. And there's a fallen rider up in Sarasota, and she dedicated her run for that rider. So she is riding a memorial run in that. Okay, for the most miles rode in the rally. They left yesterday. We had the riders meeting on Friday. Saturday morning, we were meeting there about 5:30. I showed up at 6, so I shouldn't say we, right? Anyways, at 7 o'clock, they took off. That's when the green light and everybody started going to pick up as many points of interest. And of course, the further away you leave marathon, the higher in points. We had them in Calle Ocho, in Sarasota, Jacksonville. And on the women's, with the most miles in this, I don't want to say race, because it's not a race, because you can go fast and lose.
Competition.
In this competition, with 1,218 miles in 20, I think it was 28 hours, 29 hours, Miss Vernice Wilson.
Yeah.
So hey, when your old man says, hey, my butt hurts, say, hey, look at Vernice, she's doing pretty good. And for the men's, who had 1,961, he got here just in time, because see, if you get here at 1:01, you're disqualified. He got here at 1 o'clock. Mr. Kenny Miller from Fort Lauderdale with almost 2,000 miles. Where's he at?
2,000 miles.
All righty. Women's category with 1,218 points, Miss Vernice Wilson. Throw it up there. She got the helmet trophy. And for second place with 2,755 points in 1,154 miles, Mrs. Kelly Jo Smolerick.
Yeah. Damn.
All right. Now there were some riders. There was heavy fog up in the Panhandle, and a lot of folks just said, you know what? This is a fun ride. We donated to help the veterans in Florida, but we're not going to lose our life. It got very bad, the fog. You couldn't see past the quarter mile, so they just took a hotel and said, we'll see you next year. So God bless them. They're alive for that, and that's why the numbers are a little dwindled here. But for third place, we got Diana Alvarez. She's right over there. And she was part of the team. She was helping her husband, the little short guy over there, Mr. Federico. Okay, in the novice category, for the first time, he said, you know, Gabe, I've ridden from here, went to the four corners of the United States. I never did this scavenger hunt style Ironman rally, but I'm going to give it a shot. And from Miami, with 6,000 points, who earned 1,242 miles, Mr. Barry Manx. Where's Mr. Barry? Right here. And as you can tell, this man loves America. America. All right, and from second place, from Tennessee, with 5,810 points, and he rode 1,467 miles, Mr. Mark Nichols. Mr. Mark Nichols from Tennessee, thank you, sir. Getting some of those Tennessee dollars to stay here in Florida. And, where am I? Third place, with 4,980 points. And he has 1,194 miles. You may recognize his last name as Mr. Charles Wilson. Bernice Wilson's husband.
Nice, man.
Now, in this category, we always have like a last place and we give a toilet. And everybody put their heart in. They rode to their ability. But in this category, since some of the people got DNF, did not finish, there was only 4 people in that category. And it's actually fourth place. And from Broward County, Joao Mendoca with 2,755 points, 1,090 miles on a Sportster.
Broward!
On a Sportster.
Broward County, bitches!
Now for the badass category. With 6,945 points, he went all the way to Fort Morgan in Alabama. He showed me his tracker, and he went up the East Coast to Jacksonville, shot over to Alabama, came back down the West Coast back here in 29 hours. His name is, he's got one of them Muslims, it's Coeb. And what that means is crazy one-eyed biker, and his name is Eric Busquel, first place. He's right here. He is the defending champion because last year in our first rally, he won the first. So hopefully some of y'all join next year. Let's get him off this pedestal. His head's getting a little big. Second place, and him and I used to compete in 2012 and 13, what was then called the American Legends Rally. It's the same type of rally, but we changed the rules a little bit. Is for 6,745 points. He did 1,961 miles in 30 hours. He was in retirement. I kept bragging. I said, you guys just don't know who Kenny Miller is. Mr. Kenny Miller. There he is, second prize. Third prize, with 5,255 points for 504 miles. You're like, how'd you get all those points? These guys got 1,000. One of, oh Lord, don't give him a microphone because we'll be here forever. One of the points was if you saw a life-size horse or bigger, you get $100 points per horse. This guy finds ceramic, huge, those big cement things, a herd, 36 of them. He jumped to the front. And he says, Gabe, you never said one per location. And me being an attorney, I said, you know what? I hung my head. I says, you're right. But next year, there's going to be some legalese in these instructions. God bless you, third place.
God bless.
And for last place,
that's hilarious.
2,730 points with 1,172 miles. Mr. Matthew Smolerick from Sarasota, Florida. Where's he at? There he is.
I don't see him. He's all shy back there.
He won first place points per mile. It's quality, not quantity. Now, the last award that I always do, it's this award, and it is the attorney that rides Rider of the Rally Award. And for this, we're going to need Rich Anderson to come up front.
He's right.
And then I'm going to have my brother over here from Project Vet Relief. He was over there speaking to the riders, encouraging them and telling them what they're doing. And this is the man where the money goes to, and the organization, Project Vet Relief. And they're doing a great job here in Florida, and it stays here in Florida. So it's Floridians helping Floridians. But going back to this rider trophy, I would see something in somebody, and I just choose you. But there's reasoning behind my madness. I would see somebody struggling and fighting, and even though they may have come in last, I saw a spirit of a challenger in them, and I would award it to them. Or I would see somebody, you know, something that I said, they're the rider. They're the one that should be called out and honored. And this year, I did a run throughout Florida looking for the POIs. I would actually go and visit. And I went to a lot of veteran cemeteries. And in these cemeteries, I found a lot of old cemeteries because Florida has a rich history. Civil War, Revolution, Spanish-American War, and all these different wars that really they're not even teaching about in school anymore. And these veterans by the United States Congress, they are United States veterans. No matter whether the North or the South or you're in the Revolutionary War. And, you know, I found a lot of cemeteries that were destroyed, that they were just abandoned. There were no addresses for them. I had to do some real deep, and it was only through latitude and longitude on my GPS could I find them. And I went to this one cemetery, and there was a vet from the Gulf War there, and he was scrubbing on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, scrubbing and washing a monument from a soldier that died in 1860 something or somewhere around there. And I said, hey, what are you doing? He turned around and saw my bait patch on my vest. Hey, I'm from a bait. And well, that just broke the ice and we started talking. He has been, for the last 2 years, repairing all the monuments, gluing back, or out of his own pocket, paying for the plaques, replaquing, and cleaning up all the monuments on this abandoned,
awesome,
and it's a little bit west, I believe, of Ormond Beach, real west. A little bit more west, going down 40. And this is a military event. And this year, American Legion 154 lost brothers, sisters, members, and they were veterans and they served. And this year, I want to give this to every veteran who paid the ultimate price from the beginning of the forming of this country till today, tomorrow, that this trophy is for them, because but for the honor that they stood up and paid the ultimate sacrifice, they would have been riding with us today. And those are there. But we also give honor to the other folks that rode horses. They were in the cavalry. They fought for the United States. And for them, they are being honored today. Please stand up. Please give an applause to our fallen brothers and sisters that have given their lives for the United States of America. They are the riders of the rally for this rally. And I'm going to entrust this to Rich, who's going to find a good place to put it at the American Legion so that all can see. Thank you.
Thank you very much.